people, I hope everybody is having an amazing day. Today's video I really wanted to do like a focus kind of video, so I really wanted to focus on the base. And whenever I say that, I always think of the Nicki Minaj song All About That Bass, but I will spare you and I will not sing it for you. I really want to focus on the primer and the foundation and basically how I build it up, because I really like glowing skin no matter if it's summer or if it's winter. I mean, let's be honest, in summer you're a little bit shiny, so that kind of contributes anyway. But I really like glowing products and I like to have a glow from within, so I like to layer products to really give a nice glow. So today I thought I would walk you through how I achieve this kind of full coverage base. It is definitely not a base I wear every single day. Most days I will just chuck something on if I'm going out. Other days, like today, it's already about 3 PM and this morning I went out and did a heap of jobs and I just wore no makeup at all. So I'm equally as comfortable wearing no makeup as much as I love to wear makeup. So either way, it just depends what I'm doing, and yeah, I definitely don't feel the need to wear makeup every day. So this definitely is a heavier look, but I do love the finish. I just think it is so glowy, so flawless, and it lasts really well. So I have a lot of different foundations because I used to work at a beauty store, but the shades aren't always a perfect match for me. So one thing I find really, really helpful is the Cover FX custom cover drops, and I have 3 shades I think. I only really use 2 of them because the other one is a neutral shade and I am definitely in the golden range. So I have 2 and they are the, I can't even hold them. I have 2 and these are G20 and G40, and they are just the perfect things to have in your kit or in your collection. I think they are so helpful. Basically, well, first off, they increase the pigments. That's amazing. One of my favourite products for a base is the Nars Pure Radiant Tinted Moisturiser, and I have the shade Groenland, and it's definitely not a cheap product, and I do have a backup of this in the same colour. So I didn't really want to go out and buy another one, but what I do really like to do is I mix a bit of the G40 shade in with it, and basically it increases the pigment, so you've still got the same consistency as you would have had without the product, but it gives a bit more coverage and it also darkens the foundation. So over summer that was perfect for me because it means I didn't have to go out and buy another shade of the same product. On the other hand, I really like the Becca. I think this is the ultimate coverage foundation cream or something like that. My one is depotted because I was travelling back from the UK, and to help with weight I put a lot of my foundations in these little plastic Magique containers. So this is the Becca shade Nude, and it is actually too dark for me, so what I do is I take a little pump of this, and you'll see it in the video if you're watching because that's what I use. I also take a little bit of the G20 as well, and that's a lighter shade than what I am. So ideally I'm about a G30, but basically, so this will lighten the Becca Nude shade and it makes it wearable. So it's just perfect for customizing any foundation. You can use this, I think, with moisturiser, you can use it with primer. They don't recommend using it with sunscreen, but yes, you can just add it to any product and it'll basically increase pigment, won't change the consistency, and I love these. And especially since Sephora has just come to New Zealand, you can actually buy these online. So they're not cheap, but it will last you a really long time. I just want to say the last thing with the custom cover drops is that mine are empty, so I kind of put the product just on the back of my hand. But the idea behind them is that you use a little dropper. So 1 drop is sheer coverage, 2 drops is like a medium coverage that you're adding, 3 drops is full coverage, and 4 drops I think is like the ultimate coverage. So it's really adjustable depending on what you need and what you want, but I will link it below so you can go have a read if you want. Another base I really like, and this is super simple, it is my shade at the moment, and this is the Hourglass Illusion Hyaluronic Skin Tint. So this is like a tinted moisturiser, or at least it used to be called a tinted moisturiser when it was in the old packaging, but I love the new packaging so much more. And this has an SPF 15. I am currently the shade Nude, and I really like this. It basically is your skin but better. I apply it with a beauty blender, or I apply it with, where is it? Now it is dirty. My dirty brush at the moment, which is the Zoeva Defined Buffer Brush, or any of those Zoeva sort of like synthetic kabuki brushes. I really like to buff it in. This is amazing. I will link the video below where I did use it in one of my get readies with me. It is just perfect. every day, lasts really well. I really like the colour range. They've just released a whole lot of new colours a couple months ago, I think it was. And so yeah, it's really easy to find your bright colour match. So basically these three I really like. Something else I also really like, and the last one I'm going to talk about, is the Nars Sheer Glow Foundation. So I'm currently a little bit darker than the shade Santa Fe, and what I do as well, as I have been talking about, is I use the custom cover drops. So I will take this, which is medium 2, and I'll add like 1 drop of the custom cover drops in the shade G40 just to darken it, and oh, the combination is so nice. So yeah, those are basically my 4 go-to foundations, and if you check my past videos you will notice that those are basically the ones that I've always got linked as what I've used or what I am wearing. So I hope this video was helpful. I hope you can learn something from it, or you can even think about, you know, adjusting what base you're using. And yeah, let's get started. Alright, let's do this. So to get my glowing base, I take a mixture of the L'Oreal Paris Lumi Magique primer, and I'm basically just applying this with a small Zoeva stippling brush to my cheekbones, and I'm also blending it up onto my temple and slightly onto my forehead. So I take quite a decent amount of this and I just really buff it in, and that's going to give a really nice glow coming through the foundation. Then for the main sections of my face, so places where I don't want to get oily but I still want to look luminous, I take the Becca Backlight priming filter and I use the same brush, and I'm just going to put that everywhere else. And this just gives a really nice base for my foundation. Then I'm taking a mixture of my Becca Ultimate Coverage Complexion Cream in the shade Nude, as well as my Cover FX Custom Cover Drops in the shade G20. My bottle is nearly out, so I'm just taking a little bit of what is left and just putting that onto my hand. Then I'm mixing them together on the back of my hand and applying it to my face. So basically whatever's left on my finger, I just applied at 3 different points on my face, and this is basically me just checking that the colour is going to be right and that it is a good tone. And once I am happy with that, I just take that damp beauty blender and I start working it into the skin. So I fast forwarded this section so that you don't get too bored, but this is basically exactly what I do. I really like to focus on just bouncing the beauty blender around, making sure that everything looks nice and flawless. Towards the end of this, I will literally not be adding any more product, I will just be bouncing the sponge just to make sure everything is nice and blended. For any discoloration under my eyes, I'm taking the Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector Cream, and I'm just taking a tiny bit of this on a Zoeva Concealer Buffer Brush, which is a 142, and I'm just running this under my eyes as well as slightly onto the lids as well. concealing under the eyes and brightening in the centre of my face, I'm taking the Maybelline Age Rewind Concealer in the shade Light to Pale. And so I'm just doing some inverted triangles under my eyes. I'm also taking it down the centre of my nose, my cupid's bow, my chin, and as well as above my jawline. I always do this. I find it gives a really nice amount of coverage in the centre of your face, but it's also super brightening. And it's so handy just using the damp beauty blender. The reason I do it above my jawline is to make my cheekbones sharper. It's really just an easy way of not having to do contouring, but it's still going to give you that nice crisp line without looking too unnatural. So I literally just keep bouncing this all over my face until everything is nice and blended in. To set my under eyes, I'm taking some of the Mercier Secret Brightening Powder in the shade 2, and I'm just taking this on a fluffy brush and I'm just lightly running it under my eyes. I'm taking it down kind of the sides of my nose, and then whatever's left on the brush I'm just going to run over my eyelids just to stop any creasing. For face powder, I have my two favourites. I've got the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in Diffused Light, which I'm using today. But I also really like the Becca Perfect Skin Mineral Powder Foundation in the shade Shell. It is a little bit heavier because it is a powder foundation, but it is really good when you get oily throughout the day because it just adapts with the natural oils of your skin and doesn't look cakey or powdery. And I'm just applying this with a Zoeva Luxe Face Definer. Now for the days I do have spots, which luckily isn't today, I always take my Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Custard. So this is the finished look. I've added the rest of my face products on, and there is a link at the end of the video to how to get this look. The only thing different is the lip colour. In this look I used the Kat Von D Everlasting Liquid Lipstick in the shade Double Dare, and I think in the other one I was using some of the Buxom True Lip Foundation. So I hope you like it, have a fabulous day, and I will see you in my next video.